So today we'll start with the today we will start with the rules, of course, and what are the things we should do when we are writing, what are the things we should keep in mind, and what we should not do. Okay, and then we will definitely discuss the general terms and rules, and then we are going to discuss these three terms, very important three terms, knowledge translation, knowledge dissemination, and knowledge mobilization, that is KT, KD, and KMs. Okay, these three terms are quite relevant to our research proposal writing and our collaborations. Okay, they are maybe not directly the part of your grant proposal. They are not maybe the direct part of your grant proposal, but these things are very, very important to understand what is KT, what is KD, and what is KDM, or what is KMB, the knowledge mobilization. So we have to discuss these things, and then very importantly we will discuss about the review and evaluation of the proposal, how the agencies, how the funding agencies and organizations, they conduct the review process, and what are the criterias, on what basis they actually review your grant and review your budget. Okay, and review your entire proposal, and how they assess, and how they give the remarks, and on what points, and how they rank your proposals, and how they accept or reject your proposals. So those things we are going to discuss today, and definitely today we will take you through the further websites, and we are going to discuss very important thing, that is NIH live grants and executive grants, and the short grant proposals and full grant proposals. And along with that, two very special components what we are going to discuss today are cover letter, because cover letters are something which is very much needed with a grant proposal, or with actually cover letters are very important in the industry, in any grant writing, any research writing, because these are a kind of direct short communication and your impression on the organizer, or the funder, or those organizations which are giving you the funds, agencies like NIH, ICMR, and these are the direct communication with the head, direct communication with the head, or the the executive person who is sitting there, right? So cover letters are very important. And then executive summary is again something which is very important, which is very short, and we can say kind of a summary, kind of extract of the entire project, extract of the entire proposal of your whatever you're writing, whatever you are proposing. Okay, so executive summary also we are going to discuss. And I got the very special exclusive exclusive cover letter from NIH. Okay, an exclusive summary report for you, which was written by someone. Exclusive summary is there, which has been submitted before to the NIH. Okay, so those things are very important, and you will you are going to learn a lot in today's class. So let's start. So first thing I want to just start with are general tips for the grant writing. Okay, we should always keep in mind these general these general tricks, and these general tips when you are going to write the any kind of grant, or any kind of grant proposal for any agency, whether it is ICMR, whether it is CSIR, whether it is CSIR is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research of India, though that is called CSIR. So whether it is CSIR, whether it is ICR, whether it is Department of Science and Technology, whether it is Department of Biotechnology, DBT, anything. Okay, whether it is Melinda Gates Foundation, whether it is Tata Foundations, or your IUS, or the NIH, or EU, European Unions, anything, wherever you are going to get the grants, or going to apply for the grants, you must follow these tips. These are very important. First of all, know the culture of the funder. Culture, it includes everything. Everything means not only like how they work, but how they grant the funds, how they assess the criteria, how they what is exactly their agenda, what is their discipline, what is their intention, like some funding agencies are just giving for the social sciences, some funding agencies are just giving to the marine sciences, some funding agencies are just giving, just targeting the neuroscience, some funding agencies are targeting dental science, some funding agencies are just giving to the medical science research, or health science research. So you have to be very much aware about the culture, how they behave, how they work, what is their main agenda. See, sometimes ICMR, which is medical council, which is medical council for India, so they are actually conducting all kind of research, they are funding all kind of research, they are taking care of all kind of research. But still, sometimes out of the box they go, and they go ahead with the proposals, they go ahead with the fundings for some other special type of collaborations. Okay, sometimes Indo UAE collaborations, Indo Canadian collaborations of technology and all. But still we should be very much aware of their culture, because Indian Council of Medical Research is a medical research council. Okay, so we should think of, like, before proposing the idea, we should be very much aware, like, what kind of proposals they are going to accept, what is exactly their agenda. So their agenda, I'm talking about ICMR, their agenda is to promote and enhance the medical research or healthcare research in India. So you cannot go blindly and write the all technical support grant to ICMR. Suppose they're asking for Indo-Canadian technical research grant. Okay, they're proposing technical research grant applications. It does not mean that you just go and write the entire technology based grant. You have to keep the angle, whatever is their agenda, you have to keep that in mind. The technology must be medical related, the technology must be used to improve or enhance the medical science or healthcare system. Understand? So that is about, like, to know the culture of the funder. Okay, so you should be very much aware, and you should very much understand about the culture of the funder. Okay, and then along with that, follow the instructions. Very important. Read the entire proposal, read the entire application, read the entire advertisement, whatever is coming from the funding agency. Okay, small instructions you should read. What kind of font size you have to keep, what kind of starting from the big things, like the format of the application, to the small things, like what kind of font size they want. Okay, what is the font, what type of font they want, like Times New Roman, distance of 1, and 12 font size. So you should be very much aware of everything. All the instructions should be on the fingertips before writing the grant. Then only you should proceed for the grant writing. Okay, grant proposal writing, because they'll be flawless. If you are reading all the instructions, then you will be writing the grant proposal flawless. There'll be no flaws. If see, these are the important tips, these are the important things to keep in mind. Okay, and then know the assessment criteria. You should know the assessment criteria of the agency, of the funds you are applying for, like what kind of assessment criteria they have. Sometimes they give, okay, we are looking for some efficient people, efficient staff with the efficient service experience or efficient research experience. Okay, so they ask, they clearly mention that the assessment criteria, sometimes they clearly mention that, okay, that assessment criteria is kind of eligibility criteria. Like, okay, we want someone from IIT, someone from AIMS, or this is only for the physiotherapists, this is only for the life science people, this is for basic science people, this is for genetics. And they have that assessment criteria, and they ask for the principal investigators experience also, like, okay, we need 5 years of experience, 10 years of experience. So read all the instructions carefully and know their assessment criteria. Okay, and then treat the application like an argument and present it with the confidence. Why? It is very important. Why? Like, we should always take it as an argument, because it is something related to innovation. Okay, and as I told you in last class yesterday, that we should always ask questions. We should always ask while finding a research question, while coming up or creating a research question, or any kind of proposal. We should keep in mind that we have to argue everything. Okay, we have to argue for everything, like why it is happening, what it will be. Okay, we should find out the literature in support. We should find out the literature in, the contradicting literature. We have to find out. We have to support our idea in that matter and present it with the confidence in the sense here, when you are presenting your proposal, confidence shows that okay, you are the right person, your proposal is the right proposal, aligning with the criteria of funder or funding agency. Your proposal should, convey your confidence, like you are the only person who can do this, you are the only person who is writing this grant, you are the, to pursue it. Okay, and your proposal is the only proposal who will be fitting this criteria, or who will be fitting this whatever they're asking for, requirements. So you should be confident about this, not overconfident, but you should be confident. Okay, and then use the appropriate disciplinary concepts and methods. Of course, we have discussed yesterday that your methodology must be appropriate and within the discipline, and it must be clear. Okay, so to further following it, we will be discussing about the concepts. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. 4 C's. Okay, 4 C's of the research proposal writing. These are very important, guys, very, very important. I mean, see, there will be something repeating, but these are very important. These 4 things you should always keep in mind and always, measure. Again, I'm telling you, these are the, measurable parameters for your proposal. Your proposal should be clear, very clear. Your methodology should be very, very clear. So everyone can, clearly read that, clearly understand your entire proposal, entire execution plan. Okay, so these 4 C's are actually called as convincing C's. Okay, convincing C's means these are on the basis of these C's only you can convince the funding agency, you can convince the funder, you can convince the people whom you are asking for the money, you are asking for the funds, right? So it should be clear, very, very clear. Your proposal should be very clear, neat and clear. Okay, then coherent, understanding. Your idea must be very much understanding, must be coherent with the whatever they're asking for, whatever the funding agency is looking for. Okay, it should be clearly understanding to everyone. Okay, they should understand and you should understand the alignment. Okay, and then the compelling again, the same thing what I was telling in the last slide. Compelling means it should show your confidence, it should show that okay, you are the right person to do it, you are the right person to pursue this pursue this project. Your proposal is the best proposal. Okay, and then competitive, of course, they should feel like okay, no one else is there in the list to compete this project. This has that potential, this has that caliber. Your idea, your novelty, your innovation must convey that your project, that your proposal, whatever you are proposing, your title, your question is competing with everyone, and your question is on the top. Your innovation, novelty, your execution plan of execution, your methodology are on the top of the competition. Okay, so these 4 C's you should always keep in your mind, and always measure your idea on these 4 C's before writing. Okay, so keep in mind, right, guys? So now again, the general tips: macro over micro details. Don't look into the short details, small details. Okay, don't get caught up in the little details. Keep a big picture view. See, I mean, little details are needed, but in the methodology part. Okay, when you are proposing, when you are giving justifications, when you are writing the hypothesis, when you are finding the gaps, just don't go to the small gaps, or the small details. Keep the big picture in front of the funding agency, keep the big picture in front of the reviewers, so they can easily review, they can easily find out that your things are clear and up to the mark, and they are covering the big issues of the society. Okay, ultimately in any kind of research we are going to help society, whether in the direct way or indirect way, right? We are going to help the society. So we should always keep in mind that we have to keep our picture very clear and very big. Write and cite and cite and cite. So this is like you have to cite everything, whatever you're writing. You should not write anything means in the justifications or like if you're writing the concept, your concept would be yours, your words. But when you are supporting it in the review of literature, or in the justifications, or in the gaps, you should cite every word. Every word means every line, whatever you are quoting in your proposal, it should be cited. You should not write these things from your mind, okay, from your own. It could be your hypothesis, okay, it could be, I mean, your hypothesis, it could be your words, what you are thinking out, out of this project. Okay, then your concept would be yours, execution would be yours. That's not needed to be cited. But when you're writing the review of literature and justifications, it must be cited line by line. Everything would be, have a citation. Okay, and plagiarism is a serious academic offense, so please don't go for the plagiarism. Don't just copy paste whatever you are reading, write in your words. But still you have to give the credit to the author or to the agency, wherever from you are getting this text or getting this sentences. Okay, right. Get some parameters, comparisons. When you are writing, when you are giving the justifications, comparisons are almost a great parameter to support your justification. Like, okay, in India we are looking for this, okay, in Australia this was that, or in South Asia, and in comparison to European Union, or US, or anywhere. See, when I was doing my registry, so we have compared the clinical characteristics between Asia and US and UE, okay, I mean EU, European Union, European countries. So we found there are multiple registries, but our details are quite like far from others, like the percentage of women in our registry. Okay, so that directly shows that percentage of heart failure, how much heart failure of how much percentage of women are there in the heart failure in different reasons. Okay, and the percentage of acute heart failure, or the passive heart failure, or the treatment patterns, different. This is different. And what are the etiologies? Etiologies are different. The medical histories are relating with the etiology of heart failure. That was different. In our patients, anemia was very high. In Western culture, anemia was there, but anemia was not not at that extent. In our patients, hypertension was more than 50%. In other Western patients, Western populations, was less than 30%. So these things make a good comparison and a good sense for the reviewers when they are reviewing your proposal, in your justifications, when they are reading your idea. When you are putting the comparison in the introduction, background, or justifications, it makes sense. It gives them like, okay, you have the good capacity, good capability to search the literature, and actually it is needed. This is a problem. This needs a research in our country at least. Okay, because it has been done in Europe, and it has been done in USA. So you need something to do with it. It is a genuine concern. It is a genuine issue to get researched, right? So that gives them the immense kind of sense that you should go into. I mean, they should accept it. They should it would make it interesting actually, okay, for the reviewers. Then the next thing is, again, there are 5 important rules. First rule: if you have any kind of doubt, please contact the program officer. There is no harm in contacting the program officer of the funding agency. Okay, if you get an advertisement, if you are looking at the advertisement from ICMR and you are not understanding, first of all, see, first rule is very important. If in doubt, contact the program officer. But there are again some sub rules. First of all, if you have someone near to you, like your professors who already have written the ICMR grants, or who already got the ICMR grants in your friend circle, in your known people, first ask them. Okay, program officer must be the final person to get contacted in case of doubt. Okay, understand my thing? If you have the doubt which has not been cleared by anyone, then you should contact the program officer. But this is again the first rule. If you have the doubt which is uncleared, you should contact the program officer. You should not be agitated at all. That's why they are sitting. Okay, proposal, don't tell anything. And please don't ask rubbish questions. Okay, don't ask them what is the funding criteria, how much will the fund, will your agency fund me, or don't tell him, don't dictate your idea. Don't ask him like if whether your idea is good or not. Don't ask him, don't tell your idea and ask him whether your idea is good or not, whether you should go for the application, go with the application or not. No, not at all. The program officer is not sitting there to review your idea. Okay, they are nobody to review your idea at that point of time, and they will not do. So don't ask unnecessary or rubbish questions to the program officers. Then of course you should have a great scientific idea, and great scientific idea comes from the conferences, research, lectures, and friendly discussions, people discussions, and from the literature, from the media, from the news, anywhere. I mean, you can get those kind of things from anywhere, right? So it should be a great scientific idea. Then write with confidence, but don't disregard other ideas. You should be confident in your idea. You should not disregard others' idea, okay, or other ideas, right, guys? Then read all the instructions carefully, as I told. Know the agency's mission. That also we have discussed. Okay, so these are the major 5 grant proposal writing rules. Now, always keep in mind the technical aspects. As I told you, the technical aspects are very important to keep in mind. Like, what is the page limit? How much pages we have to submit? What is the size of the file? What is the type of the file they ask? Like, they ask in PDF, they ask in JPG, they ask in Word file. What type of files they're looking for? Okay. Then page limit, word limit. Like they usually write introduction we need in 700 words, less than 700 words, up to 700 words. Or if they're writing introduction, it is like that, and justification 200 words, innovation or something, it's like 2000 words, or maybe methodology 2500 words. So review of literature 2000 words. So they write everything. Stick to that, stick to those word limits, page limits. Don't exceed it, don't exceed it. आप क्या समझते हो भाई, ज्यादा लिखोगे तो क्या गब्बर खुश हो जाएगा और पैसा दे देगा? नहीं, not at all. They will not give. Okay, they will not be happy after you're writing 5 pages or 10 pages. If they're asking for 2000 words and you're writing 5000, but they won't be happy. Okay, so stick to the plan, and stick to the things whatever are asked by the funding agency. Then abstract format, they always ask abstract format, whether it is unstructured or structured. Sometimes, I mean, in research proposals, usually it is unstructured. So structured means like they ask to keep your aims and hypothesis, justifications in a little bit, okay, and in the methodology, a little part of the methodology, okay. But usually if it is unstructured, then keep it short, 200 words, 250 words, or maximum 300 words. Then they give the words count for the abstract also. Then reference formatting, they usually ask for the reference formatting, what type of reference formatting they want, Vancouver style or Harvard style or AMA style or anything they write. Okay, so read that, stick to that. Reference format should be standard. If they have not given the reference format, like, you should always go for Harvard, AMA, or Vancouver, because those are the standard referencing styles. Then PI and co-PI eligibility, you should read the instructions carefully. What eligibilities must be there, what kind of PI and co-PI should be involved in the project. And then submission methods, file sizes, file types, as I told you. Then font size, what should be the resolution of pictures, what should be the resolution of tables, and write the table of content clearly, whatever is there in the tables. Keep all the abbreviations below the tables. Those things are very important to keep in mind when you're writing a proposal, because these things attract the reviewers to give you the funds. These things attract the reviewers, and they make, actually these things make makes your proposal interesting to them. Okay, this person has real potential to write something. Okay, so writing skills must be important. Writing skills are actually needed. So your grammar should be correct. Don't always use jargons. You should use jargons, but not too much. Okay, and don't use typical sentences. Don't use typical words. Don't use long sentences. Keep it short, keep it understandable. Okay, so the person who is reading can understand it easily. Keep it easy. Okay, don't write the typical grammar, don't write the tough words. Okay, so that's like always you should keep in your mind. Then Common errors in a proposal writing. That is very important to understand. What are the common errors in a proposal writing? When you're writing a proposal, there are multiple errors. So what are the common errors, and you should not do? Okay, does not fit agency's mission. If you're not fitting agencies, sometimes we go ahead, as I'm telling, people are so excited. People are so excited to, get the grants, to get the funds. So they just don't, they feel like, okay, I'm 70% aligning with the agency's mission, so let's apply. No, if you are not 100% aligning with the mission of agency, then it is going to get rejected and you are just wasting your time. But people just, people always think like, okay, let's give it a try, but the try must be in the right direction. The try should not be undirectional. Okay, try must be in the right direction. If you are in the right direction, then give it, then you must give it a try. But if it is not fitting, if it is not aligning with the agency's mission, please do not go for it. Otherwise you are just wasting everyone's time and your efforts also. Violates one or more agencies guidelines. If you are like, okay, my PI has no 5 years of experience, my PI has 4 years of experience, let's try, they will straight away reject your efforts. Okay, they will straight away reject your efforts. Please do not do this. Okay, if they're asking for genetic involvement, means they're asking for genetic involvement. Okay, if they're asking for biochemistry involvement, they are looking for the biochemistry people, they are looking for the biochemistry lab, proper lab. You should not do this, that okay, we will do from outside. Okay, you should not think in that way. If they have mentioned something in the guidelines, that means you have to stick to that. Okay, beyond the capabilities of PI, students and institution, don't propose too much. As I'm telling, zyada likhoge to kuch nahi hoga wo. Okay, don't write too much, don't promise too much. Promise whatever is feasible. Okay, promise whatever is in your capabilities. Don't go beyond the capabilities of the PI or of the students or of the institution. Okay, if the facilities are not available, as I told you yesterday also, if the facilities are not available in the institution, first try to arrange. Think of if you can arrange, and if you cannot arrange, please do not go for it. Okay, lack of proofing, grammar, spelling, formulas, numbering, mathematical errors, these things are common, very common errors. Okay, then some minor errors like missing the pages, page numbers, figure numbers, citation of the figures, citation of the tables. Sometimes you miss your signatures. Okay, so these are the common things and very important things to remember. These are the important things to remember. Okay, because these things, if you are missing, these things are the most highlighted things which attract the reviewer's attention. Okay, these things attract the reviewer's attention and they feel, oh, he misses the table number, he did not cite the table. That is the only thing and click in their mind towards the rejection of your project. Okay, so be very, very clear when you're writing and be very, very perfect in these matters. Okay, unfocused and poorly organized. Of course, if it is poorly organized, then like they have asked for to write the site, research site first, and then sample size, and then the parameters, and then statistics. Then you should be in organized way. If they're asking abstract first, then you should write abstract first. I mean, mention the abstract first. Okay, if it is not like that, abstract you have written at the end of proposal, and then you will keeping the abstract at the end of the proposal only. Not at all. Your everything is perfect, but you made a mess. You made a mess in organizing the proposal. Okay, so always twice, thrice, 5 times read your proposals and check the proposal for organizing things, like if the things are well organized or not. Okay, tell your friends to check out once. Then low personal budget, no enough people. Okay, low personal, don't write the low personal budgets. Okay, don't go for the low personal budgets. It will snatch your sleep. Okay, it will overburden your staff, it will impact the outcome. Don't go for the low budget at all. Okay, don't go for the padding up the budget, but don't go for the low budgets at also. Whatever is there, keep the exact. Okay, maybe 10-15% around, but not at all. I mean, not the whooping amount, or not the very less you are cutting your staff and you are telling I only can do everything. Okay, I don't need staff budget. So that is not going to happen. People who are sitting there, they understand the things. They understand, okay, this person is greedy, this person just wants funds, he doesn't care about the execution of the idea, he doesn't believe in the good execution, he cannot do everything. So they straight away put the low marks and reject it. Understand? It's very important to be organized, to be up to the marks, not beyond the marks, not lesser than the marks. Okay, then again, the don't be in rush, as I'm telling. Okay, you don't be in rush when you are writing a grant, or when you're writing a grant proposal. Keep your mind calm, read everything carefully, and then only organize the things in a good way. Okay, wait until the last minute to contact program officer. As I'm telling, program officer must be the last person to contact, but don't hesitate if you are not getting the answer. Okay, if you are not getting the answer, if you don't have someone to guide you, go and call PO or email or anything, contact personal or program officer of the grant agency. Okay, use the good fonts, lower margins. Ask for too much or too little money is also again a problem. Don't do this. Don't ask for too much or too little money. Make the figures tables small or low resolution, not at all. Keep in the good resolution. Don't do these things. Don't ignore the instructions or proposal guidelines. Don't cite the papers which are in preparations or submitted. Only cite the papers or the text or the material which have been published already. Okay, you have to cite the material which have been already published. You should not go for the papers or the publications or the material which is under the publication, which is in the communication. You should not cite that. Then some do's, again repeating, but very important. Download the complete proposal, proofread before submission, as I'm telling. Use the correct format and format correctly, right? Then make sure everything is legible and doable. Okay, follow all the instructions and submission procedures carefully, and then go ahead. Okay, I'll not take much time on this slide because it's already done. Now, very important 3 terms I want to discuss with you guys. One is knowledge translation, one is knowledge dissemination, and one is knowledge mobilization. Not very big topics, but are very important. What is knowledge translation? KT. So knowledge translation, I'll tell in my words. Knowledge translation is something, the entire process that actually involves the synthesis and all the dissemination and the exchange of the knowledge with the ethics. Okay, with the ethics to improve the life of people, to improve the life of society. So what we can do, how it is important to our research. See, when you are involving anything, involving anybody, okay, like suppose I'm a clinical researcher, in my point of view, it is very important. KT is very important. See, because if I am doing a research in community, I have to attract people, I have to ask them, I have to involve them in the research. If I want to involve them in the research, I want to conduct the research in community patients or personal human, the healthy human beings anywhere. We have to translate the knowledge through the people. Okay, in form of handouts, fact sheets, doing presentations, and some knowledge camps and awareness camps. We have to be between the audience. Our audience must be knowing about what we are doing, so they will be happily participate, and there'll be the chances of less dropouts. Okay, when you are conducting a research. So in case of grant writing also, it's very important. You should do it with your colleagues, with your collaborators, with your partnering things with your institution, within your institution, outside the institutions. You should talk about that when you are doing a research, even after the grant, or when you are planning for a research. Do these things to involve those people even in prior. Okay, knowledge dissemination, called KD. So this is like transferring the knowledge within and across the setting, as I'm telling, with the expectations that the knowledge will be used such as for the learning or attitude or behavior change of the people. Okay, these are actually the outcomes kind of outcomes also, not only the outcomes but kind of outcomes also of the research grant or the conduction of the research, or when you are when you are writing a proposal. Why it is important? Because it will increase the awareness. Okay, it will increase the awareness, and awareness will directly lead to your the confidence that okay, now I can understand that people are taking me positively, people are taking that kind of research positively. Okay, people are taking these kind of research positively, and they will be helping us, they will be coming up to participate, they'll be coming up to participate. Through before the vaccine trials, have you seen there were a lot of advertisements from the companies? Okay, come to this come to our company, and that will be, you will be the first to get this sort, you will be this, and it will help in society. So tell them, the convey the knowledge, convey the awareness part, convey them that it is helpful for you. Okay, and then make them understand that okay, if we do some kind of research, because researchers are not only the first timer. Okay, first time they start, but if once they are the researcher, they do multiple research, they do different type of things. So these are the important part of getting grants, or because these things also, why I'm telling, why I've included these three things, KD, KT, and this KMB in this proposal writing, because these attract the agencies also. Now in the in the era of social media, in the era of a kind of media, or kind of direct communication, so agencies also have their eyes on the institutions, on the they directly go and search. Okay, what are the activities done by the institution, what are the activities, how these people are involved, how the PI have been involved in something, if it is. Okay, so if you are doing these things, these are the additional points for you. Okay, these are the additional points for you to get into those league to get the grants. Okay, so knowledge dissemination, and these are very important. Okay, so it can be done by conducting conferences, conducting create a website, good website of your project, what you are planning for, or good website for your research area. So if you have a good website of your research area, what you are doing, if you are updating completely, then you can apply for the grants to the big societies and foundations like Melinda Gates. So they will also look into these things, like how are you doing these three things: knowledge dissemination and knowledge translation. If they feel okay, these people are really having that caliber, these people have that potential to conduct those things, they are really associated with the people, with the public, with the society, then they will come up and they will there are the very high chances to provide you the grants. Okay, then third thing is mobilization, knowledge mobilization. That is again the specific activities and the tools. You create the questionnaire, surveys, okay, and go for the MOUs with the different companies, industries, or different universities, different research labs. So these things must be there throughout your institutions, and involving you as a PI, principal investigator, or professor, or assistant professor, whatever, you should be active in these things. Okay, in MOUs, collaborations, associations. So these things you have to mention in the grant proposal. Okay, you have to mention in the grant proposal how you are working on these three terms. Sometimes specifically they ask like, okay, when you are talking about the institution, talk about the knowledge mobilization, translation, and dissemination. So that's why these are the important terms to include when you are writing the institutional support in your grant proposal writing. Okay, grant proposal. Understand, guys? This is very important. Okay, so now I'll go to the very important part of the what we are waiting for. The first of all, this is this grant cycle. Let's understand how it works. The grant cycle works. So it starts with the planning early. Okay, see, planning early means what? Okay, let me keep the circle here, let me keep the grant cycle. Planning means, see, that there are few grants like ad hoc from ICMR, or health science grant from DST, DBT, CSIR, or NIH. They have their annual plans. Okay, they have their annual plans. Annually they open few grants. Okay, annually they open few grants for microbiology, for health science, for cardiology research, for all the research. Annually they come up with the grants. Addition to annual plans, they come up with some more grants based on the social needs, right? So when you know that, okay, now next year I'll be eligible for this grant, okay, or next year I'll be eligible for the further grant, or I can apply for SRF, or I can apply for the young researcher grants, or I can apply to establish my own laboratory. So when you are looking for, start planning early, because plan itself takes 8+ months average, on an average. I'm telling you guys, this data is from NIH, absolutely from NIH. It takes time, because as I'm telling, to make your center feasible, to make you eligible for a grant, what you are looking for, it takes a lot of time. Like suppose there are no facilities at your center, you have to establish those facilities, you have to collaborate with the people, you have to come under MOU, you have to find out the good team, you have to go for the associations. So those things need time. You have to go and start planning early. Okay, so as you can see, it start with the planning, then finding the good opportunities for funds, then apply. Okay, after application it takes 1 to 3 months. Okay, and then it takes 4 to 8 months in review of the application. So usually the results, and even in ICMR it takes 3 to 8 months, 3 to 5, 6 months. Okay, your results will come even after 3 to 6 months in ICMR. Okay, this is the same pattern everywhere. They take time. If it is a research grant, it takes a lot of time. Okay, so review process take a good time, and then after that, make an award means the you have to submit, maybe before the first proposal you have to submit the full proposal. Then they will give you the awards, they will give you the grant, and then you have to manage those grant awards, and then you have to share the entire result at the end, at the closure report. Okay, so this is a proper grant cycle. Usually it takes 1 year, okay, the entire year it takes to get the grants and start with us. Okay, then now, yes, very, very important part what we are looking for. How is the review process? Okay, what is the review process, and how your grants are being reviewed? Who is going to review your grants? That's important. So understand usual criteria. They usually give or put their emphasis on quality of the content. As I'm telling, novelty, innovation. Novelty, innovation, it could be anything, anywhere, in your title, in your justification, in your new idea itself, new procedure, new methodology, new execution plan, anything. Okay, so quality of the content is important. Don't stretch it, don't keep it too less, keep it up to the mark. So quality of content must be there in form of novelty, in form of size. Okay, then funding new or early stage investigators. Yesterday someone asked me, not only someone, there were many people who were asking me, like, if they give the funds easily to the new stage investigators. Yes, they give. They actually looking for the new, always they look for the new or early stage investigators. Okay, because they get the commitment from them, they get the energy from them, they get the good vibe, good confidence in them. Okay, that's why they usually, you won't believe the funding agencies. If you look at the, I did not keep the chart here, but that ratio I'll tell you, they usually give the funds to the early research carriers 30 to 40%, and 40 to, again 40 to 60%, I mean, the again 20 to 30%, they give the funds to the people who have the experience of 2 to 5 years, research experience of 2 to 5 years only. So up to 60% of the research grants are given to the people who are very new or in their early stages. So don't worry about it that you are young people, you will not get. If you have the potential, your idea is perfect, you will get in the first time. Because they also look for the new people, they also look for the new ideas, young brains, right? Then there is a 9-point evaluation scale that we are going to discuss, and there are the 5 core review criteria on which they review your entire project. Okay, so let's go with the 5 core ideas, 5 core areas, what they actually looking for in your proposal. First is significance. How significant your idea is to give a proper result to the society. how it is significant to resolve the problem of the society, how significant it is to give something new, some new opportunities for the public. Your idea must be significant. Then investigators. Oh, I think investigators spelling is wrong here, guys. Let me correct it. Okay, here only one I is required. Yes. So investigators. Investigators means what? Eligibility, energy, confidence. Okay, eligibility is the first criteria. First criteria they look into, and the experience. See, what do you think are the new people in research? Like you're asking me, new people for the grant. Grants are not given to the students who are, like who are thinking like I'm in the first year of PharmD or BPharm or MBBS, I'll get a grant. Not at all. First people, new people or the early stage investigators are who have done the good projects at institution level, who have done the good projects at university level in their PhDs, in their masters, in their bachelors of PharmDs or MBBS or nursing or physiotherapy. They have to be in the research for some time in their student life, and then once they are graduated after at least masters and they are in the PhDs and they are assistant professors, those are the people who are new or who are early career researchers. Okay, if you think I'm the first year student and I should apply for the grants, not at all. You must have the little experience of conducting the project, not alone, but with the investigators, with your guide, with your people, you should be aware of the research environment. Okay, so that's why I always encourage my students, always encourage my fellow colleagues, whoever are now pursuing the PhDs, whoever are there who are pursuing their masters, at least get one good publication through your masters, your PhDs, your PharmDs, and get a good research experience. At least do some project which is significant, which can get publication. See, whatever project you are doing in your I have seen many people who do not have the research potential, and it is like mandatory to do them. I mean, mandatory for them to do, but after that there is no significance. So investigators who are in the new who are new to this, who are in early careers, they must have some research experience in their masters, and if they have the publication one or two from their masters, from their PharmDs or MBBS or nursing bachelors, it is amazing, cherry on the top. And it gives the idea to the funding agencies that okay, he has some knowledge and he is good person to grow further in the research area. Okay, so that's why look into these things. These are very important, guys. Okay, then the innovation we have discussed already. Approach, how you are going to execute it. Environment, approach must be very clear, and then based on the approach they give these are the major criteria, how innovative your idea is, and how clear and coherent is your approach, how compelling your approach is, how competitive your approach is. So those 4 C's will come in the approach here. Okay, your approach must be clear, coherent, compelling, and competitive. Okay, and then the environment, what I'm talking about is what is the institution, how did you how much did you involved in the research, what did you do in your projects, what was your project idea, till what stage it went, whether it has been published or not, did you write something, what were the results, whether they were significant, not significant, whether they were giving some impact to the society. That is very important. Environment, how good is your college, how good is your institution, how good is your organization to support the research, right? That is important, that's very important for them. Okay, how are your teams? So those comes under environment. So the reviewers review the proposal on these parameters: significance, investigators, quality, eligibility, then innovation, approaches, environment. Okay, and then next thing is how are the applications scored. Okay, so this is the process. Usually this is from NIH and CSIR. So there are 2 reviewers who are assigned to review your proposal in detail. Okay, there are 2 reviewers who are assigned to review in detail. Others often only read the abstract or aim page. They don't read everything. See, there are many people in the committee. There are many people in the panel, usually 5, 7 or 11. Okay, usually 5, 7 or 11, not less than 5. There are at least these many people in the panel. And in some teams like NIS, there are 20, 25 people in the panel. Okay, so there are 2 separate independent reviewers will be assigned. First, who will review your paper, your proposal in detail, and then everyone will read maybe abstract or aim only. Each assigned reviewer is required to score each of the 5 core review criteria. So those 5 review criteria will be scored. Okay, out of 10, each out of 10. Like how much is your research area, research proposal significant? Quality of the principal investigator, quality of the investigators, the team, quality of innovation, right? And everything will be reviewed under these 5 core review criteria. They will give the score, and each assigned reviewer give a preliminary overall impact score, not the average. For all 5, they give the separate scores. Okay, and then the overall impact score will go to the committee, and based on the rank, the top rank, like, okay, they have the cutoff. Okay, the top 20 projects, top 20% projects will go to the final team. Final team means for everyone to read, like to the committee meeting, and then they will make the decision in acceptance, for the acceptance or rejectance, for the rejection. Okay, so the final team will take the decision, but 20%, 15%, like based on the number of the proposals, they will take the call, like how many proposals they have to take for the final final committee, and then the final committee will decide. Understand? So this is the quite cumbersome the scoring system, and how they review your project proposal. Okay, so out of those things, based on these 5 criteria, core criteria, these 2 reviewers, and then the entire team will assess your idea, your proposal, and your whatever you are proposing, and then they will give you these marks, application scores. This is the picture from NIH again. How this is a meeting of review process. Okay, this is a meeting of proposal reviews, the final meeting with a lot of funding proposals and all. They're doing it. Okay, this is the picture from NIH database. See, so scoring system for grant proposals. Look at this. Impact, score, descriptor, additional guidances. So the best idea or best proposal will be described as exceptional. Okay, at the top score. This will be within the high concept, 3 in the high concept, 3 in the medium concept, 3 in the lower concept, lower impact actually. Okay, and the score number 1 will be exceptional, exceptionally strong, with essentially no weaknesses. So there will be no weakness in the scoring system of any scoring system. 5 core criteria. 5 core criteria. Those were the innovation, significance, and institutional support, and investigators. So those things, out of those 5, there is no weakness. All are exceptionally strong. Your proposal is wonderful, exceptional. The second is outstanding. Extremely strong proposal with negligible weaknesses. Then the excellent, very strong proposal with only some minor weaknesses. Okay, minor weaknesses, some, only a few minor weaknesses. Then it comes to the medium impact. In medium impact, very good proposal. So very good proposal is not the top proposal. Understand? Before the very good proposal also, there are excellent, outstanding, and exceptional. Okay, so guys, in between I forgot to give you the information. there is the feedback form at the end of this session also. Okay, so you have to give the feedback, you have to put the feedback, you have to fill the feedback form. Okay, so very good. Very good means the strong but with numerous multiple minor weakness. Okay, multiple minor weaknesses are there. Then it comes to the good. Good is a kind of medium level. Okay, kind of the exact medium level. Okay, and good means the proposal is strong but with at least one moderate weakness. One moderate weakness. Then satisfactory. Satisfactory means there are some strengths but also some moderate weaknesses. Okay, then it comes to the lower grade. You know what are the chances of acceptance? I'll tell you. Chances of acceptance are up to the 5 number only. Number 5 is also not included. Only up to number 4, score 4 are the chances. Okay, understand my point. In the research proposal, if your proposal is very good, excellent, outstanding, exceptional, then only there are the chances of acceptance. Okay, not even for the satisfactory and good. So remember, these low, I really don't think it's needed to discuss, but 7 number is fair. Some strengths, but with at least one major weakness. One major weakness, maybe you left out about the investigator, you left out writing about the support, institutional support is not good, or maybe your eligibility, you are not properly eligible, or maybe your idea is not that innovative, maybe your execution plan is not well, not clear, not vibrant, not coherent. So those things are there, major weaknesses. Then marginal and poor, few strengths but few major weaknesses, few strengths but numerous weaknesses. It's called very poor or poor kind of scoring system for your grant proposals. Okay, so these are the things what usually the reviewers take on. Usually the reviewers take on that, and discuss those things in the reviewing committee, in the reviewing meeting, and based on that only they get the result of acceptance or rejection of your proposal. Understand, guys? So now very important things we have finished, but now there are 2 more things what we have to discuss importantly. As I told you, one is cover letter, one is executive summary. Okay, so let's talk about the strong cover letters. What could be the strong cover letter? First of all, understand what is cover letter. See, cover letter is not a part of grant proposal. Okay, not a component of grant proposal. This is the additional supportive document. Cover letter is the additional supporting document with your application, which will be submitted to the funding agency. Okay, this will be the supporting document, and it is an opportunity to demonstrate that you understand the priorities of the funding agency and the interest of the funding agency, and how your work is aligning with their goals. You are writing only these things in the cover letter. You are not mentioning everything. I'll tell you what you have to mention in cover letter. Be very brief and up to the point. Okay, no extra things at all. Use the same date that you will send the complete grant application to funding sources. Okay, do not write the date of since you are starting the project, since you have started writing the project or writing the proposal. Write the date, mention the correct date when you are going to submit the entire proposal. Okay, that's very important. Open with the contact person's name and title at the top. Whoever, like suppose I'm writing to the ICMR, so ICMR has Dr. Krishnamurthy, scientist E. Dr. Krishnamurthy, scientist E, New Delhi, this mark and all, address, full zip code with the name, city, address, state, zip code, everything. Okay, open with the contact person's name, title, followed by the funding sources, name, address, agency. Then greet the contact person with a dear, plus whatever is their designations or their personal titles like Mr., Miss, Mrs., Doctor, Professor, whatever is there, and with the last name. Okay, do not write the first name only or last name only, Mr. Choksi or Mr. Khanna. Write the full name. You are writing a cover letter. Write the full name with dear. Okay, that's very important. These things are very important to make the cover letter very strong. Then keep the first and second paragraph short and focused. Okay, wrap up with a summarizing paragraph at the end, and at the bottom right include the note of attachments, whatever you are attaching, proposal, okay, and some other documents, lab documents, supporting documents, whatever, write the attachments. Okay, and those paragraphs, I'm talking about those paragraph, first and second paragraph, short and focused, will be telling about your project and what is the novel idea, okay, and how you are going to execute it. What is the novelty in your execution and in idea? Those things must be there in your cover letter. Then only it will be strong. Don't write a lot of things. Cover letter means only one page. Cover letter means only one page. You have to keep everything in one page. Okay, that is the letter, that is not the proposal. So demonstrate the priorities, the interest of the funding agency, what you are proposing them, how you are going to execute, and you are eligible. These three things you have to focus. These three things you have to convey. Okay, and that will be read directly by the person who is heading the proposals or who is heading the grants there in the funding agency, right? So this is how you can make your strong cover letter, how you can make your cover letters very strong. Don't put rubbish things, don't put justifications and all, don't put those things, don't put title of those whatever the things you're looking for, like collaborators, or don't put those things at all. Okay, in the cover letter you should be very precise. Title of the project followed by funding source, name, address, city, starting with the contact persons, then paragraphs, 2 short paragraph, 1 summarizing paragraph at the end, and then over. Okay, you want to read a funding letter, I mean this cover letter from NIH? Let's read it here. See, this is the NIH funding letter actually. So okay, here, very important, nothing much in this. Date, to whom you are writing, with the name you are starting, dear Mr. Nissen. Then Center for Rural Health, address, entire address is there. Then enclosed is our scrub grant application. Okay, that is like your attachments. You can write attachments, you can write at the end also, but it is enclosed with the research proposal. Okay, then lead organization, your title, your your address, and your phone number, contact details. And if it is in collaboration, if there are collaborating multiple centers, okay, multi-centric, then whoever is involved, okay, whoever is involved, right guys? And then okay, guys, give me a minute, I'll just take what. Hi, I'm sorry guys. Actually, I got a call, very important call, so I had to, take it. I'm so sorry. Yes. So, we were at the sample cover letter. So this is the sample cover letter we were discussing. So these are the, see, look at this. How many legislative districts they are, including in their grant. Okay, like each of these organizations and facilities will collaborate and participate in a role vital to the success of scrub camps. Okay, they are looking for the grants for scrub camps, scrub awareness camps. Okay, and research on the scrub. Okay, scrubs, right? So this is the amount requested from a company, I mean from the NIH, and number of the student anticipated, and then grades 9, 10 from let's see, they have mentioned here everything, the camp date, title, time, location, everything. And attest is the information regarding the need to promote the camp and health careers, and project description, the agenda and detailed budget. So that is attached. So here they have given the summary. This is not exactly I was looking for, but this is something which give you the hint, like, okay, your important details must be there. Only important details must be there in your cover letter. It is not necessary to write everything. Don't write your execution plan here. Don't write your justifications here. Don't write your literature review. Don't write your hypothesis here. But just write what is going to be involved. Okay, what is going to be involved? It is very, very important for you to mention in the cover letter. Right, guys? So now we can discuss the questions. If any thing is there at the end of this session, we can take all the questions, right? And then let's come to the executive summary, which is another part of a research proposal. Executive summary. So what is executive summary? Executive summary is a kind of extract of, we have the abstract. We have the abstract in the proposal. Definitely it would be there. But executive summary is a little different. Okay, sometimes they don't ask for the executive summary, sometimes they ask for the executive summary. Okay, and all the agencies do not ask for the executive summary, but if someone is asking, that means it is very important part, and you should be very brief. Okay, in that case, so the project executive summary should briefly describe the need that will be addressed, the proposed services, and the client population group. Client population group means proposed population number, sample size, and whatever is to be served. It should not refer to the other part of application. Again, as I told you, it should not give the proper, it should not give the review of literature, it should not give the entire methodology or anything. Okay, it should just give like the proposed services and population group, what you are targeting, and like how you are going to do it. A little bit about that, the novelty, your innovation must be there. Okay, so these are the part, the need that will be addressed in the executive summary. In the brief idea, your needs, the proposed services, and the population. These three things should be included. And then provide the demographic information of target population. As I told you, demographic population, like you are going to do, like I'm doing in the South Karnataka. Okay, so I'm targeting the South Karnataka population, or the nearby population within 300 kilometer, and I should give the important facts about the population, how this population is important, and what are the major issues I'm going to target within this population. What are the issues I'm going to target, I'm going to resolve at the end for this society. Okay, so these are the important information should be should keep in the executive summary. And then explain how your project will overcome one or more community barriers. As we are discussing that we always do the projects, research projects and everything, just to come up the community problems, community issues, or community hurdles, barriers, always, whether it's pandemic, endemic, waterborne disease, or anything. So we should clearly explain how the project will overcome these barriers, right? And demonstrate the feasibility of the project. Feasibility means always write a bit about yourself, about your institution, and about the setup, which is, see, here in executive summary, you do not have to mention everything about the institute. You just have to mention the important part of the institute, which are directly associated with the proposal grant or proposed grant, or the project what you are what you are going for. Like, okay, I need HPLC support in my project, so I should write, okay, we have the available HPLC setup in my college. That is enough. That is the feasibility part. Okay, I should write, okay, we have the entire community computer lab. Okay, if I'm doing something on computer, I have this in my college. We have good population, good patients outcome in KMC. So those things which are directly connecting to our project, which are directly exactly the needs of the project. Okay, we should mention that in the feasibility in executive summary, not the entire description of the institution. We should not keep that in that, right? You should be very specific feasibilities in the executive summary. So executive summary is again a 1 page or maximum 1.5 page. Do not go for 3-page executive summary or 4-page executive summary, guys. Executive summary is again 1 page or maximum 1.5 page, right? It will be very brief idea, very brief idea, which will include only the problems you are addressing, only the proposed services and the population you are targeting, and how you are overcoming the barriers, and the very brief feasibility, right? These things only, right? Let's see the NIH executive summary here. Look at this. So this is about the transportation empowerment. Okay, Springfield transportation environment. This was one of the institute of NIH which works in the community development, community economic development from NIH. So this is the summary of that. As you can see, the first paragraph of the executive summary is talking about organization description. Okay, this part is talking about the organization description. Like, okay, the Economic Community Development Council is a 5013 associated company or whatever, whose mission is to create long-term social and economic change for low-income residents of the Springfield community. Okay, so they have the 25 years of the services in this area in the economic development ventures, profit, non-profit, private, governmental funding agencies, sources, whatever. This is the organization description a little bit. You have to give that. And then demographic information and target population. And look at the existing community barriers. For many years, Springfield has been one of the statistically poorest community. Problem has targeted here. Poorest communities in the United States. According to the most recent US census estimates, 23% of Springfield residents live below the federal poverty level. The unemployment rate is 19%, and 42% of adults do not have a high school diploma. So this is the demographic details with the existing community barriers. You have to target that. You have targeted the things. Then how project will overcome community barriers. ECDC is requesting $9 million grant to implement the Springfield transportation. Okay, so these things are very important. Okay, the impact. Okay, this is very important to understand, guys, how your project is going to overcome the community barriers. And then feasibility of the project. The 99 million request will cover all the project startup expenses, subsidize the trucking business operations for the first 5 years, and developing a revolving education loan fund. Beyond OCS funding, ECDC will leverage $2 million from community investments by the conclusion of grant period, and it will be self-sustainable. So they are like giving the feasibility report here, how they are going to do, because they are going to do with the Small Business Administration, US Treasury, community development institutions they are involving, which can be later part. It will be a self-sustainable project. They just want this to start the Springfield transportation empowerment project. Okay, they just want to initiate it. So understand how this is the how they have written the executive summary, very well organized about the organization description. This organization is who is asking for the project, who is asking for the funds, not who is giving the funds. Okay, this is about who is asking for the funds, right? Don't write about the ICMR. Don't write about the NIH if you're asking the funds for ICMR or from the ICMR or NIH. Write about your organization description, only relevant description. Okay, and in the feasibility you can write those descriptions, but in the 1 line or 2 lines you can introduce your organization there in the first, then second paragraph, demographic informations and the target population, and the third paragraph, existing community barriers, then fourth paragraph, how project will overcome these community barriers, and then the feasibility of the project. That is your executive summary, and it should be not more than, it should not more than 1 page or 1.5 page maximum. Usually always try to complete the executive summary in 1 page. Okay, that's important, to keep your executive summary within 1 page. Okay, then after this executive summary, yes, now see, everything is done, and now I'm summarizing everything, and I'm coming to the conclusions. Okay, I'm coming to the conclusions. We have understood the proposal writing, we have understood about executive summary, we have discussed about the cover letter, we have discussed do's and don'ts, we have discussed the general rules, we have discussed the research cycle, research proposal writing cycle, and we have discussed the general rules, and yesterday we have discussed the multiple things. Now I will try to come to the summarizing part. There are 3 more slides what we're going to discuss now. One is, you yourself will understand why these things are important. First of all, understand what are the hallmarks of an outstanding grant proposal, and what are the weakest grant proposal writing terms. Those things I'm going to discuss with you now. Okay, so let's understand. This is from NIH, hallmark of an outstanding grant proposal. Look at these things. It must be strongly significant, okay, to the society. As I told you, it should remove the barriers of the society, important problems in the public health. The impact must be very, very high on the society. It should be very much helpful to remove the barriers, or to improve the quality of life, or to anything which is having an impact on the society. Because we are conducting these research, we are going to get these funds, we are going to use these funds towards the society and for the benefit of society. So if your significance is important, your significance is strong, if you are portraying the exact problems, okay, the problem, if you are portraying correctly, that would be outstanding. Okay, no one can reject that kind of ideas, that no one can reject that kind of proposals. So these are the hallmarks of an outstanding proposal. Significance of the problem, okay, impact, high impact on the society, high degree of novelty and innovation. It could be anywhere. As I told you, idea must be novel, your execution must be novel, you should be different from others in any one way. Okay, you must be different, you must be targeting some good population. Maybe, see, it is not like your innovation, your idea is very new. It is not necessary that your what you are going to do is perfectly new, your procedure is new. But if you are targeting the different population also, it's new. Some research has been done. I'll give you further examples on this, so you will better understand. Some research has been done in US, or in some other country. Okay, that research has not been done in your population, in Indian population, or in South Indian population. There is no literature for South Indian population, and you strongly believe that South Indian population is different from other populations. As clinically we understand that we have in the South India population is different, because their food habits are different, their like environmental factors are there, geographical factors are there, there are multiple different things are there. Yeah, every race, geographically they are different, their their physiological conditions are different, their physique is different, their body is different, entire body is different, right? So it is the strong base to perform the same research in your country or in your population that is also innovative. Understand that it is not something you are copying. You are copying the methodology, you are copying the idea, but you are doing in a new population that will give you something new. Okay, in case of medicine, in case of the public health, or in case of healthcare sciences, it is important. It may not be different. If I talk about how paracetamol was synthesized in US, then I have to synthesize the paracetamol again in India. Not at all. It's not necessary because it has been done. But if I tell I'm going to perform the same research, I want to check the etiology or I want to check the risk factors of heart attack in South Indian population. I mean, it's done. But if it has been done in Africa, Madagascar, or in somewhere in Switzerland or Netherlands, and then in Virginia, California, it is my right to assess those things in my population also. So this is a great idea, because this will give me the this will give me the different results. This will tell me about my population. So that is also a novel idea. If your population is novel, okay, like suppose I'm asking for, I'm looking for, I mean, someone has done first let's understand that concept. Someone has done the heart failure risk in hypertensive patients. Okay, that is done. You can assess the heart failure risks or heart failure, heart attack risk in the normal people, in women differently, okay, in transgenders, in elderly patients. So that is also a novel idea. That is also a novel things. So whatever is not done, it is not necessary that your idea is novel. This is not necessary. I mean, idea means your topic is novel. That is not necessary that your justification is novel. I mean, not justification, I'm telling methodology or execution. Your justification is important. How you are justifying your idea. Like, it has not been done in this population, I'm doing this. If the research has been done in elderly population, is not done in pediatrics, that is also important to do. That is also innovative. That is also novel. You can do that. Okay. So anything which has the high degree of novelty or innovation, you should go for it. You should write in your grant proposal. You should go for the grants. Okay. Then strong track record of well qualified applicant, compelling publications. Of course, I mean, the qualifying means the person should have the eligible criteria, whatever is required by the funding agency. Okay, so if they're asking for the 10 years plus experience, you should be 10 years plus experience. But usually funds, they do not give for only 10 years plus experience. They give for the newer people also. They give for the people who have a little experience in the research. Okay, so if you have one paper, if you have a little experience of that, you must try, but you should be aligning with their eligibility. Okay, eligibility criteria. Then clear rationale, clear justification, novelty. I mean, clear rationale means clear justification must be there, and the methodology. And then relevant and supporting preliminary data. If your idea proposal have the good literature, okay, good literature support, then it is an outstanding grant proposal. Okay, it is an outstanding grant proposal. Then clear and focused approach that provides unambiguous results. That's important. Unambiguous results. Okay, you should not be ambiguous when you're writing the things. When you are writing a proposal, your proposal must be focused. Your approach must be focused. Your methodology must be focused and clear, coherent. Understand? Those are very important. So if you are following these things, that means your proposal is going to be outstanding. Okay, if you're following these things, careful attention to the details of spellings, punctuations, grants, fonts, clarity of the data, error bars, spellings. If you are, I mean, keeping all these things in mind and then you are preparing your proposal, that means you are going to get an outstanding grant proposal. Outstanding grant proposal. Okay, and in contrast to the outstanding grant proposal, we have common reasons cited for a weak application also. Here, these things reflect that your application is so weak, your proposal is not good. Like descriptive, incremental projects with weak impact. Okay, always avoid descriptive and incremental projects. Then too ambitious, of course, as I told you, ज्यादा लिखोगे तो ज्यादा पैसा नहीं मिलेगा, ज्यादा लिखोगे तो पैसा ही नहीं मिलेगा, right? Don't write too much ambitiously. Don't be ambitious. Don't lack your focus. Okay, too many unrelated aims and aim dependency is not at all good in your proposal writing. If you think like I will write 10 aim and objectives, the reviewing committee will accept my proposal. Not at all. Write one aim, but it should be perfect. Write two objective, but those must be perfect. If you're writing the perfect aim but very related, then there are very high chances of the acceptance. Okay, and if you are keeping too many unrelated aims, aim dependency, that is, it makes your application weak. Unclear hypothesis rationale will make your application weak. Applicant lacks appropriate expertise, whatever is required by the funding agency, then again you are lacking the problem. I mean, you are inviting the problem. Your application is going to be very weak. Then no evidence of feasibility. You are not mentioning about the feasibility. So do not assume that reviewers are familiar with subject as you are. Reviewers may be the familiar with your institution, maybe with your things, but you have to mention the feasibility accordingly. You have to mention the feasibility properly in your proposal. So if you're not mentioning about the feasibility evidences, then that means your application is going to be very weak and you are not going to get it. If you think I am from the AIMS or I am from the some great institute, okay, I am from the Manipal, I don't need to write about my institute. I don't need to write about the feasibility. Everyone knows that Manipal has 2600 bedded hospital, and this much feasibility is there, all the facilities are there. No, if I am not writing, that means I'm fooling myself. Okay, I'm fooling myself. I have to give them evidence. I have to give them evidence of feasibility. Okay, so if I'm not writing the feasibility, or if there are no evidence of feasibility in your proposal, that is a weak application. Approach all the flawed and no discussion of pitfalls, alternative approaches. If you are not writing the limitations, that is also a problem. You have to write all the pitfalls, all the limitations of your research in your research proposal. Limitations, citing the research proposal, citing the limitations is very important. It is not that you don't have the limits in your you don't have limitations in your project or in your proposal. There are always. So mention all the limitations, like maybe you cannot ask for 1 crore, or your facilities are little less, or maybe you cannot continue after 3 years, or the feasibility is 5 years but the grant is only for 3 years. So there must be something, there must be something. You are lacking some expertise, so there must be some limitations of your project. You have to mention those projects. Poor writing, lot of errors, small figures, or densely packed text, you should avoid those things. If these are there, then you are doing a mistake. And you are inviting the problems, or inviting the poor grades for your proposal. Okay, and then the final words you have to understand, guys. Resilience and perseverance. Okay, resilience and perseverance. So these are very important. Being an investigator, you should be resilient. Okay, you should be resilient. You should be flexible to anything. Anything means, like, if you have to compromise your sleep, you have to compromise your a little work about the things about the research, you should be. And perseverance, you should be very strong to pursue. You have to convey that confidence. Okay, you are the only strong person to pursue this research. You should be strong. You should be complete the project. Okay, you should not leave it between. Perseverance means you should be continuously working on that. You should not leave it between. You should be strongly standing with your project. Okay, so resilience and perseverance are very important things. And along with that, self inventory. When you are writing a grant proposal, when you are looking for a research grant proposal, writing means you are planning the entire research. So self inventory is very important. You should invent yourself. Self assessment, we call it, self analysis. Okay, how? Identify your strengths and capacities. Identify where you need complementary skills. If you are not 100% skilled, it is not necessary that you are 100% skilled. So please go and get those skills if it is feasible. Please learn those things. There is no harm in learning, guys. Okay. If you are not skilled, if you need some complementary skill to perform any task, please go ahead with this. Please join the course. Please learn those things from somewhere. See, I have seen people are very much targeted. See, my idea and my funda in my life is whatever comes in the way, read it, learn it, because these things are going to be used somewhere in the life. Okay, so learn everything, whatever is relevant. I mean, whatever is relevant, whether these are directly relevant or not directly relevant to you, but learn those things. What's the harm? You will understand the things now. Your knowledge will be improved. So that is different. But if you do not have the complementary skills, whatever is needed to conduct the research or to perform the research, please go and get those skills first, learn those things, and then come up. So this is like self-analysis. First, analyze yourself. If you are eligible or not, if you can do it or if you can do it or not, if you are a proper person or not, if you are the person to do that or not. Okay. Then what kind of team and mentors do you need? Okay, so people, the team you need, you have to assess those things around you. Okay, so that comes in the self-analysis, like if you are ready to do that or not. You means you, your team, your institution, your support, everything. And what exactly you are passionate about. Okay, exactly what you are passionate about, what you want to do. It's not something you don't want to do and you're just doing for doing by force or something. If you want to do it with the heart. Do it by heart. Don't do it by the force or something. Okay, what are you passionate about? Learn about this. And then the second part of this is something called self-balance. Along with the self-inventory, resilient, and perseverance, you should be self-balanced. Find the ways to refresh and sustain yourself. As I told you, don't look at the funds, don't look at the budget. Get the people, whoever is needed. Don't do it by yourself. Don't do the 100% things by yourself. Okay, because research writing is a marathon. Conducting a research is marathon, not a sprint. Okay, so by this I will stop my presentation here and I will take you through the websites and I'll take you through the grants proposals, and then we will then after that we can discuss the further things. Okay guys, so I'll just stop sharing my presentation, right? Let me share the proposals with you. Okay, first thing I would like to discuss with you is, okay, so I will take you through first with the ICMR website. Okay, wait a second. Let me share the screen and I'll take you through the website where you can get the funding. So I hope it's visible, guys. Okay, so here you just nothing you have to do. You can just write ICMR ad hoc proposal sample or ICMR research grants. Okay, write ICMR research grants. You will go to the main.icmr. This is ICMR main website. Okay, ICMR main website is here. Online schemes. Here you will get, and it will redirect you to the multiple things. See, here you can see SRF or Research Associate Fellowships, ICMR Department of Health and Research International Fellowships. You can get login to ICMR extramural ad hoc submitted projects, international collaborative projects. You will get all those things. If you look at this, grants, SARP grant, fellowships, junior research fellowships, SRF, senior research fellowships, short-term studentship for MBBS students. See, this is STS for only MBBS students. They give 50,000 rupees now. I think they have, last time it was 10 or 20,000 for MBBS and BDS people. They give, especially they give to them, 50,000 rupees for, 6-month research project. If they are in the 3rd year or 4th year, MBBS or BDS, they can apply for this STS. It's very important, very they give a lot of funds. They give 10 to 15 students per college usually, if their proposals are really good, and it includes retrospective studies also. So STS is really good because they want to improve the people to do research in India. Okay, so in the fellowships, SRFs are there, STS is there, JRFs are there, extramural fundings are there. Okay, so this is the prospectus. If I click on this, I'll go to the different website, of course, external website. So this is again, go to the EPMS, which is the center for the login for ad hoc grants and all. Here you can get all the, I'll go to the first website, this. Okay, grants. There are multiple grants. ICMR Emirate Scientist Grant, postdoctoral research, PDF if you want to do, MD, MSD, MS, MD, MSPD, PhD if you want to do. There are the grants for them. There are clinical training and transitional research workshop grant, medical innovation grants, Center for Advanced Research grants. Okay, ICMR travel grants, nurturing the clinical scientist scheme grants, ICMR chairs grant. There are different grants, guys. Just go and explore this website. Go and explore this website. Okay, if I go to EPMS, look at this. EPMS is nothing but electronic project management system. All the ICMR projects are managed here. You need to log into this. Okay, see, you can see here 3,210 projects sanctioned since 2013. 43 projects completed, 2,807 ongoing projects, and 25,504 stakeholders, means investigators and people who are associated. Okay, see here, you will get all those things. EPMS, ad hoc programs here, external website again, ad hoc program I will go to the ad hoc program at HMSC. Okay, I'll show you the HMSC also. Then fellowships, if you want to know about the fellowships, you can directly click here and you will check all the fellowships here. See here, fellowship programs. Okay, and fellowship programs for research associates, senior research fellows. You can check out all the things are given here, guys. See, look at this. Eligibility criteria, educational qualification, experience for SRF, format for declaration form. Okay, format for detailed research proposal, age limit inspect, list of portal documents, whatever is needed, list of mandate form, format details of guide. Everything is clearly mentioned in website. You just have to come up with the idea and submit the proposal. That's all. Okay, so please encourage yourself. Okay, then HMS website is here, Health Ministry's screening committee. Okay, so here also there are projects. So it is very new. So you will see here, no project submitted, no proposal approved, and total stakeholders 0 till now. Here you will get all, bio-RRIP website and ICMR EPMS is here. So you will get all those things, guys. Okay, here you will get all those things. Similarly, if you want to go to DST website, okay, so this is like the DST research grants. Just write DST research grants and go to dst.gov.in. Okay, here, call for proposals. Okay, there is a thing, call for proposals. It actually comes on the dashboard only. So there are the openings. See, this is like call for proposals of advanced material and energy storage technology, MS ka last date is 30th September. Call for Sathi proposal. Okay, the last date is 30th September. India Belarus joint call for proposals. Not only India Belarus, 15th September. So you can see all the things here. Okay, and whatever is relevant to you, just go ahead with that. Okay, you can check out those things. Okay, so these are the important things, guys. You should go ahead. Let's go to NIH. Okay, NIH research grant proposals. Okay, NIH research grants, I'll go. So if I go to NIH research grant, you will see here grants and fundings. Okay, first thing will be grants and fundings. Go ahead, at least put your some time in that. You will get to go ahead with this. Okay, so there are the grants homepage is there. Okay, due dates, fundings, how to apply. These societies, these agencies are very clear with the instructions, guys. You do not have to do much efforts. You will get everything in details. Okay, you will get everything in details. So about the grants, what are the grants, and fundings, what are the funding and grant fundings, other transactions, contracts, and so there are multiple things. There are multiple things in NIH also you will get. Okay, so just go and visit these websites. Now I will show you the proposals. Okay, so let me share again the proposal. First I'll show you the DST proposal. Okay, DST neuroscience proposal, and that is like in the short form and big the full proposal format also I'll show you. Okay, so which one is this? Okay, I think this is this is the advertisement for Cognitive Science Research Initiative, CSRI. Okay, so this is like individual projects. These are the instructions for that. Okay, these are the instructions, eligibility, how to apply, last date 30th June, September 17. It was like they have given the entire things here. Okay, and then I'll take you through the CSRI. Here, look at this. So I think this is the full proposal format. Yes, this is the full proposal format for that Cognitive Science Research Initiative of DST. Okay, so here you can see. Sorry, I think I am making the So look at this. This is under the DST, Department of Science and Technology. So here they start. See the proposal. Look at the proposal. Sample project title, sub area, duration in the months. What you are proposing, total cost. This is just general information, and then project category, whether it is a basic research, applied research, technology development, or anything else. Then principal investigators, designation, department, institute name, address, mobile, telephone number, email, date of birth, gender. Then co-investigators, again same thing with the co-investigator, designation, department, institute, address, telephone, then date of birth and gender. And then section B, technical details like project title, project summary, 500 words. It could be executive summary also. You can write executive summary also, normal summary or abstract. Keywords, introduction. Under the introduction, following headings must be there: origin of the proposal, definition of the problem, and objectives. Okay, then review and status of the research. I mean the research review. Under the following headings: international status, national status, relevant references, importance of the proposed project, review of the expertise. What else you want, guys? What else you want? Everything is clearly mentioned in the proposal itself. Only in the proposal itself everything is written. Work plan you have to write in the methodology, then organization of the work element, time schedule, suggested plan, and then look at the budget. Like if it is a 3 years project, what is requiring plan? What are the requiring things like salaries, consumables, travels, other cost, equipments, then grant total, budget for salaries, person by person, budget for consumables, items by items, budget for travel. Okay, first year, second year, third year, whatever is there, budget for other cost, contingencies, budget for the equipment. Okay, and then list out these things, facilities, whether they are available or not about your institution. Workshop facilities there or not, laboratory space is there or not, power generator is there or not, AC rooms are there or not, because these things must be needed by the agency, by the DST. So they have asked you directly, these are kind of the eligibility criteria. Transportation is there, administration is there or not, animal house is there or not, glass house, and then after that equipments available or not. Okay, what are the equipments available, like generic equipments, generic name of the equipment, model, make, take care, everything must be there. Then detailed bio of the investigators. Okay, and biodata of investigators and co-investigators with name, address, how many publications list, and patents if any, list of project implemented, academic qualifications, date of research projects being implemented. So these things must be there in the technical details you have to mention. Then endorsement from the head of institution, then certificates from the investigator. Okay, certificate from the investigator, they have to sign it. Then these are the final approved by the secretary. So they give the entire detail. Okay, they give the detailed version in your proposal. They give the entire details in your proposal, guys. Okay, so I'll close it. I'll close this also. I'll go to the NIH. I'll show you the NIH proposal. So it's very important. So there are two proposals. First one is same research I want to show you guys. Okay, so yeah, one is this. Okay, this is the full project, I believe. Yeah, so this is the summary statement of the same project, guys. Okay. Oh no, that is not the summary project. Okay, wait. Oh, it's very confusing. Many things have been opened here. Okay, so this is okay. Let's see by this one page, one entire grant only. Okay, so this is the grant. The PI is William A. Fabian. Okay, and the title of the grant was Inflammatory Cascades Disrupt Treg Function Through Epigenetic Mechanism. So it was received on this date. Then there are the council details, competition ID, and then other IDs, organization Mayo Clinic Rochester. Okay, Mayo Clinic Rochester, and then department internal medicine, IRG, AIDS, no, expedited, no, subtotal direct cost they have hidden. Okay, animals, inclusion animal, yes, humans, no, clinical trial. Okay, the current details and everything. What are the organizations needed? The people who are involved, like from which institution they are involved, like Chandrasekhar Pasare from University of Texas Southwestern, and Stephen Ecker, and these people from Mayo Clinic. And then after that, look at the detailed version. Type of the submission, application, federal identifier number, publication, applicant details, Mayo Clinic, internal medicine, division gastrology, gastroenterology, and then address, full address, then their address is now. Then if you look at this catalogs, full catalogs are given. Okay, I'll not take you to the catalogs and all. See, look at the fundings, estimated project in the summary. Okay, estimated project, total federal funds required, total non-federal funds requested. Okay, or they have the total federal non-federal funds, as yesterday Dr. Nabil was talking about how much funds they have from outside and how much funds they have from them, and how much income their institute have for that, if they can involve those costs also, or if they can cover some cost from the institution. So those things are very important to mention. Okay, so here the detailed version, I'll come to the detailed version. Okay, so here this is a research and related other project information of institution. Look at this project summary. They have written the very important project summary or abstract here. This is this is what we say here. This is a direct abstract. Okay, so like the transcription, they have written about that, the transcription factor, whatever is there, and FOXP3 is critical regulation. They have given is like long-term goals. In that they have organized it again, about the introduction and then long-term goals, then objective of this, central hypothesis. They have highlighted the words, so the people who is reviewing it will get it easy. Okay, so this is unstructured abstract, entire unstructured abstract, but they have highlighted, the principal investigator has highlighted the terms, whatever are to catch the eye. Okay, to catch the attention of reviewer. Long-term goals is to dissect epigenetic mechanism. Okay, epigenetic mechanisms regulating TRAG cellular differentiation and function, particularly within the setting of GI inflammatory diseases. Objective of this grant is to characterize the role of EZH2 in TRAG suppression system. Okay, TRAG suppressing functions, and the central hypothesis is this, rationale is this, specific aim is this, contribution is significant, and the proposed research is innovative because we investigate the effect of inflammatory signaling pathway. Can you see how specifically they have mentioned and highlighted the things even in the unorganized abstract, right? And then look at this project narrative. Okay, after that look at this facilities and resources. Okay, and look at this equipments whichever are there. The PI's laboratory is equipped with more items for modern biochemistry, cell and molecular biology, and cellular immunology, including 5 conventional PCR machines, 2 real-time fluorescent PCR machines, and a photo okay, phosphomolecular and 2 HPLCs, FPLCs, spectrophotometer, electroproparator, and everything whatever is needed is ultracentrifuge, mild spirit centrifuge, rotor, sonitor, and everything whatever is required is there. Equipment they mentioned. Then look at the research related keys. Okay, bio sketches of the investigator and other co-investigators. Okay, personal statement. Then see, these are the publications, and then come to bio sketch of these people, different people. Okay, and publications. Then after that, this is the entire proposal. So it has the bio sketch of the people, their publications, their personal agendas, their personal write-ups. Okay. Okay. So after this PS coverage or PH, cover page supplement, and then we'll go to what? Yeah. Personal justification. Okay. Collaborators. Look at this. Collaborators. Other personals involved. Okay. And then here human subject section, other research plans if needed. So their PDFs are involved. And see introduction to the application. Look at this. Here from here exact application has been started. Introduction to the application. Hypothesis and specific aim, research strategy, significance, innovation. See, innovation is there. Approach, methodology. Okay. See, everything. Anticipated results, potential pitfalls, alternative approaches, justifications, introduction again for that. Okay. So there they have mentioned everything, guys, everything here. And then finally the literature review or the progress report, publication lists and all, everything they have mentioned here. So if you read these things, it is a fun. It will be giving you the lot of things, lot of new things. Okay, lot of new things. Let me share one more last, and then we can go ahead because our sir must have joined. You see, look at this. This is again one. Okay. See, translational research at aging or cancer interface. University of Rochester again. Hematology, oncology. Supriya Mohile is the key personnel at University of Rochester. See, project summary. Okay, project narrative, specific aims, research strategy, introduction, approaches. Okay, see, preliminary data, conceptual methods, everything is mentioned in this. Everything, study design, entire study design, recruitment, clinical assessment, whatever is required, everything is mentioned. Everything is mentioned. Okay, so with this we will I think we must end our project and our proposal writing workshop here. So thank you very much, guys, for attending. And I would like to now invite Dr. Tarun Rashe. Dr. Tarun, for the further proceedings. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Ajit. That was a really wonderful session. Now let's move on. The valedictory. Before I invite Dr. N. Udupa, I would like to give a brief introduction for a couple of minutes about Dr. N. Udupa.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Sir, namaste. Good evening. Namaste. Very good evening, sir. Thank you.
Excellent,
and you're welcome, sir.
It was excellent workshop yesterday. I was in Bangalore, so I could not join today. So
no worries, sir. No worries. No worries, sir. No problem.
Saw the report and all. It was excellent. Very good. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
How many people are attending?
Sir, there are 170 right now, and yesterday they were around 200. So, but there are more than 400 registrations, sir.
Okay, very good, very good. Congratulations.
Excellent. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So, guys, your questions we will take. You can write in this after Rupa sir's comments. We will take your questions. So, yes, Dr. Tarun, please go ahead.
Yes, I will just take 2 minutes, Dr. Ajit.
Yes, please.
Yes, so Dr. N. Udupa is a renowned educationist and eminent scientist in the field of pharmaceutical technology. He was born on July 15, 1953 in a small village of Kinigoli, South Kannada in Karnataka district. Now, under his dynamic leadership, the UG and PG courses of pharmacy and pharmaceutical technology had made significant contributions to the field of pharmaceutical science. Several generations of students were benefited from his excellent and lucid classroom lectures. He has organized and conducted 75 workshops, received 51 research grants, visited 16 times in foreign countries for conferences and guest lectures, 65 times on national level. He has guided more than 95 students for their MPharm research projects and guided more than 28 students for their PhD degree. To his credits, has 7 patents, 27 collaborations, 350 research papers presented in conferences, 425 research papers and 100 review papers published in referred journals. He is the author for more than 5 reputed books. Being a great administrator with simplicity, honesty, humanity, noble qualities, and concern for every individual, he could inspire the staff as well as students to work hard with a team spirit and offer the best to the pharmacy profession and pharmacy department in particular. Professor Urupa is a very noble, eminent scientist and accommodation in pharmacy profession. He is an inspiration to all of us. Now I invite Dr. Urupa to speak a few words. So please.
Yeah. So already with the conference given very good input, and people are enriched with about the grant writing funds available for various research, particularly for clinical research. It is a time-consuming, tedious, and success rates are depressing in the initial stage. So researchers make the we can make less stressful. First of all, he has to become familiar with grant writing, the various processes, and decide what he must need and why he is asking for the grant or money. Then signpost his application according to rigor, value for money, impact, scientific interest. Then is a challenge, and the colleagues who have applied to the same organization, he should stay focused and avoid jargon. Talk over interdisciplinary proposal with various collaborators, and he should not be afraid to ask questions. Ask people outside of academia to read our application. And if you get rejected, we should not get dejected. We should try again and again. Always use our right of reply. Tips for funding and applying for grants are: consider the large, well-known sources of funding. Reach out to senior researchers and your institute's grant office. And also, there are various ways how to get the success in getting the grants and various funding. Then also cast a wide network and be in the various knowledge, network with various colleagues, know the funding agency's requirements, ask questions, and also consider adding experience to the co-investigators in our investigation. Demonstrate our expertise and research plan. Consider employing a grant support service. And also, we should improve our language, consciousness, grammar, and clarity of our proposal with the help of various grant support service. The free access funding databases such are there. There are government grants and like National Science Foundation, NSF. 20% of all federally supported research conducted at American colleges and universities, the current percentage approval is approximately 28%. Then CRDF global grant is there, and also National Institute of Health grants are there. There are extramural grants. Then the various industries like the Spencer Foundation. Then also there are Terra grant directory. Then also the sponsored program information network, that is SPIN, is available. 10,000 funding organizations are there, and also 700 member institutions consortium is there. Then Grant Resource Center is there, which is known as GRC. And we have to consider all this, and there are various websites are available. Then there is Einstein Foundation Award of 2020, the latest announcement. Einstein Foundation Award, which is Einstein Foundation will announce this year's awards in Berlin on December 1st, 22nd. And also, there are various top 6 factors, tips are there to consider when selecting the right research funding body. We cannot take the funds for granted. The source of funding should be known, types of grants should be known. The government agencies like NSF, NASA grants are there, Department of Energy grants are there. Then there are various private grants are there. Then various foundations like HHMI, Award, Hughes Medical Institute, and also Research Corporation. And also there is special grants for women for the American Association, University of Women, AAUW. Then there are various scholarships and fellowships. Then also seed fundings are there, project fundings are there, central fundings are there. So these are the various opportunities, and also the Newton's list is there. Government grant, there are 26 agencies. NIH office gives various extramural research. National Science Foundation is there. SPIN, SPIN is also there. The sponsored program information network is there. Then also 700 member constitution, that community of science, COS is also there. Then objective of the research funding should be very clear with analyzing the project, and then the funding are to be properly evaluated before we accept the grant. The amount of the grant, its allocation also is very important. The aspect is covered by the grant, like it may be institutional overheads, travel, conferences, meetings, etc. Then also various publishing rights are offered to the researcher. The stakeholder associated with the research funding body are also to be considered. Then another very important factor is promotional activities are also there. The main quick tips for getting the grant is defining the success of our project, give an overview of financial breakup throughout the project, explain our project with a narration, state the reason why we are applying for a particular grant, differentiate ourselves from other applicants. Then tips to write a research grant proposal is get detailed information about the funding agency before we apply. Because what are the limitations, what are the scope are there, ensure the clarity and consistency in the content of the grant proposal, address possible limitation of the study, provide all relevant information about allocation of the resources, that is the correct budget input should be given. Research grant for the next generation researchers are with the, there is various upcoming research grants are offered by the lab front. There are undergraduate research grants with that like Gramin smartwatch devices, lab front advantage packages with the honorarium and the total value of $2,000 or euros. Then women's health research initiatives are also there. There are about $1,000 worth grant is available for the women scientists. So these are all the inputs what I want to give, and I hope our various researchers, particularly for clinical research activities in the hospital setup, and also with the help of the Clinical Research Foundation and ACPI, with the leadership and mentorship of Dr. Ajit Singh, who will definitely train all our young researchers, young budding scientists to start the clinical trial and other activities with various research grants. So it is a very good opening for particularly the pharmacy professionals, students, researchers, faculty. So I hope all of us will get benefit from this type of where more than 200 to 300, more than 400, I understand about 400 to 500 people have registered, teachers, students and researchers, clinical trial investigators have joined this program for last 2 days. We got a lot of benefit, and I appreciate the initiative of Dr. Ajit Singh and his team for organizing this successful conference. I wish all the best to all of you. I thank Dr. Ajit Singh for giving me an opportunity to speak few words and whatever limited whatever information I have. to give to all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Rajesh.
sir. Thank you very much. And it was definitely, I have almost a nil experience in front of you, and you have covered almost all the funding agencies. I have, I was just talking about, NIH and the major ICMR and, DST, DVTs, but you have covered, you have opened a lot of opportunities to our, audiences, to our, the new young researchers, new assistant professors, associate professors to go to these websites and search these women research foundations and women research and all. They can definitely go to these websites and check for
So
these funds.
all
And
that content and website I will mail you. So
yes, sir, please.
share this with all the investigators,
Sir, yes,
all
sir.
the participants, so that and they can contact me and I can help to
Yes,
get
sir.
such grants. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Definitely, sir, definitely. Thank you
And
very
one
much.
more thing I want to tell, we are
Yes, sir.
conducting a international conference in our venue, that is a physical conference, that is on the 21st, 20th, 21st and 22nd November. And you are also one of the resource person and chairing
Yes,
some
sir.
steps.
I'm one of the organizing person in that. Yes.
Organizing. Your organization is already there in our list. So I request you to share this registration
Definitely.
brochure also.
Yes.
I'll share, and please see that all people physically attend this program in Dharwad.
Yes.
We will make all the arrangements. Very
Yes,
just 1,200 rupees is the registration charges, and we will give accommodation and all those things will be provided. Okay.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Udpa sir, can I have a word with you?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Dr. Udpa sir, this is Dr. Adepalli from earlier NMMS. Right now I am in DY Patil. I have great respects, and we enjoyed your presence at NMMS. Yes, I know you're a doyen in pharmaceutical sciences.
I'm a small man in front of you.
Yeah, I know. And I had a privilege to go through and evaluate your one wonderful PhD thesis guided by you. And I was in MMS.
Yes,
you can remember that. Very
yes,
nice.
I know.
And seeing you is very good. Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Patil.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. Thank you.
Yes,
now,
Dr.
moving on, I invite Dr. Adepalli Veeranjaneyulu, Research Director and Professor, Department of Pharmacology, from Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research. Dr. Adepalli, could you please add some comments?
Yeah. Good evening, all delegates. I am Dr. Adepalli, respected Tarun sir, Ajit Singh, all the managements of both CliMed as well as our D.Y. Patil, Institute of Pharmaceutical Science and Research, Udpa sir, and Dr. Nabil, and other resource persons. We came to the end of 2-day workshop on how to write a research grant proposal. Wonderfully conducted and very lucid presentation by Dr. Ajit Singh, and hosted by CliMed as well as co-hosted by our DY Patil. It has been often said, the scientist has no other way or a method but to do his best, damnedest. So this concept has to be imbibed, digested by all of us, and it should be reflected through this workshop by well conducting with the different modules by Dr. Ajit Singh, with all his articulated research acumen. And of course, we have witnessed the panel discussion by Dr. Nabil, throwing light in various intricate aspects, further ignited by Dr. Udpa sir. And of course, I had a great respect for the Udpas, and overall, we know that he is a doyen of pharmaceutical sciences. Is it audible? Are you listening? Hello?
Yes, sir. You are audible. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the workshop has a different modules, and it has, it has taken in a very lucid way of doing the things. The researchers and the faculty, I am sure, they are benefited by this 2-day workshop, how to come out with a successful grant writing application. And he has nicely covered by touching the strategies that are to be adopted for getting grant, the homework that is to be needed to be done well before submitting, the idea generation, feasibility aspect, facilities that are available. We should not jump in. We need to introspect ourselves. And what is the knowledge inputs that we can give into this, resources, and aspects of various the things with respect to editing, with respect to keen details that he has given, including today he has touched with an example of NIH touching various rubrics and evaluation parameters that grant reviewers they follow. I think this is the need of the hour. Because of this, people have to take some some bird's eye view. When we submit, we should go through one by one in a manner that is required. And this is very much nicely he has given the examples of knowledge translation, knowledge dissemination. I think these are well documented, but one has to implement and one has to conceive this idea when he has told in that very lucid aspect. Very good. And innovation is critical, we know that. At the same time, we need to have an introspection. Ultimately, what is research? Research is not a rat race. At the same time, we have to believe that innovation and you can say thinking ability will win the race at any given time. All that what we need is the applicant should have the ability to convince the grant reviewers that the given or submitted application or proposal is a good investment. Ultimately, today world is looking forward. Whatever you do, whether in the form of research or this one, the proposal should lead to a good investment. And I am sure the present workshop has given the best possible blueprint and the skills that are to be generated by the youngsters, as nicely put forward by Dr. Udupai and others. Youngsters should take a lot of message from this. And I'm sure with all this two-day workshop will lead us to take us to see more in successful grant proposals in future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful comments. Dr. Ajit, you're on mute.
Thank you, sir, for the nice words. Thank you very much for the collaboration again and giving us the opportunity to conduct this workshop in collaboration with Dr. D.Y. Patil, Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences.
Very good, sir.
Before
Ajit,
going...
can I have one word with you?
Yes, sir, please.
Dr. Ajit, when I went through you are a cardiologist, right?
Yes, sir. I did my PhD in cardiology.
Oh, okay, very good. And what I could perceive, you touched every point that it should go like a penetration into the BBB, blood-brain barrier, to all the youngsters. And this is the need of the hour. And such a wonderful sessions both the days you have conducted. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And now I would take the questions before we go to the vote of thanks. I would like to take all the questions. Please, guys, if you have any questions, please open your mics and talk to me.
Dr. Ajit.
Yes, Santosh, sir.
No, I am Dr. Pankaj.
Hello, Pankaj, sir. Yes, please. Yes, I think I got.
Sir, we are overwhelmed by your talk, a thorough discussion, thorough knowledge from A to Z. You have explained. My direct question to you, the researcher like us, those they have crossed the age limit, say not 45 plus. Hello, where they have the scope, because ICMR and all they need 35 and less than 45. So can you
no, it is, sir, it is not.
Yes.
Sir, there are no age restrictions in ICMR or any funding agencies. Yeah. There are some specific grants for the young researchers. There they ask, for the age like, less than 40 years or less than 45 years. But the usual ad hoc grants and usual grants, they do not ask for any kind of age restrictions. They do not have age restrictions at all. Even in NIH, even in DST, they do not have. They have some specific grants for SRFs, for the young researchers, for the the people who have just passed the PhD. But they have the different eligibilities for them. There are different grant sections. But for the common grants and common, the research proposals, they do not have any age restrictions. If you are 24 years or 35 years or 45 or 60 plus, it doesn't matter at all. If you have a good idea, anytime you can start that, sir. Anytime you can, go for the grant, and anytime you can go for the research.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Good
And the last question I asked yesterday, SCRB, sir, Science and Engineering Research Board.
Sir, I
Hello.
did not hear your question properly. Your voice is actually not clear, sir.
SCRB, Science, Engineering and Research Board.
SCRB is the part of DST, sir. SCRB is the part of DST, and they actually hold on some kind of projects, and they hold on some kind of research grant. They also propose research grants in the area of in the area of medical science, in the area of technical science, in the area of all those marine science and all, because that is the part of DST, Department of Science and Technology. So usually they focus their main agenda is engineering, but if you have anything related to engineering and medical also, you can apply there. And SCRB is one of the good grant what I received from SCRB. I will tell you, that is the travel grant. They give the nice travel grants, even for if you are from medical background or any background. If you want for international travel, they give nice grants. That I can tell you. I have not applied for any kind of research grant from SCRB, but I have obtained 2 times the research this travel grant. And they usually give if you're really going to a good conference or something. But SCRB provide all kind of research grants also.
Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Ajit sir.
Sir, namaste, Bhujwal sir.
Yeah, before asking a question, just I would like to thank respected Dr. Udupa sir also for sparing his valuable time and guiding the audience. Thanks a lot, sir, for your presence.
Thank you.
Dr. Ajit sir, just I wanted to ask, you were nicely detailing regarding that NIH grants. So
Yes,
are the NIH grants only restricted to medical, or they are also applicable for the pharmacies and pharmacy?
For everyone. They are not restricted at all, sir. They are for all health science people, all health science participants. Anyone can apply.
Great.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, someone is raising hand. Allow me to please ask a question.
Dr. Ajit sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, my question is, suppose is there any eligibility condition? For example, some of the grants like in AICTE, they ask the college or the department should be accredited.
Yeah.
Is there any such condition in DST or ICMR?
No. These are not for all the grants, but some grants which are AICTE. When AICTE funds or UGC funds, they ask for NAC accreditation or NABH accreditations. I mean, it depends on the grant, but not everywhere. Not at all. Not everywhere.
Okay. Thank you.
So I will ask one question to Udupa sir. Following this question, sir, is it really necessary to have NAC accreditation or kind of accreditations to get the grants?
No. They will in a particular scheme. They will clearly mention that a NAC accreditation is required. That NAC accreditation usually for very high, like the quality, the quality pharmacovigilance and all. NAC accreditation they will ask institution and all.
Yes, and sir, one more grants are there. I'll add to Udupa sir. There are the grants where they want to establish the research centers in the colleges. In that case, they need the accreditation. So that is when they
accreditation is required, and there are various schemes from 1 crore to 100 crore, 200 crore. But there should be a matching fund from the institution who want to set up that, because the space building we have to provide. They will give mainly for the projects we have to get from industry and all, but for all the facilities, infrastructure, manpower, they will give required grants in crores.
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay, somebody is asking about impact factor of article score. I think that is not in the scope of this, but I'll still
I can answer because I am editor of several journals.
Please, sir. Please. I would be happy.
Yeah, because we have to always, our research papers should be published in the Scopus industry. There are quartile Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Preferably Q1, Q2. You see, Manipal ranking is today very high because of the Q1, Q2 publications. Every year they publish more than 5,000 publications. That is so any university, any organization gets the very NIRF and other national and visibility, the ranking will be there if we publish number one, very good conferences, we should present the papers, then proceedings also should be published, and also the Q1, Q2 Scopus indexed paper, Web of Science indexed papers, and also with the high impact factor. Then only it is it will be considered. So that's why for publication, high impact factor of the journal is very essential.
Yes. Okay, so someone is asking, sir, can I mention about outsourcing facilities we are going to depend on in the proposal, or we should establish the setup in our? No, it's not necessary. If you have the collaborators, then you do not need to establish everything at your institution. You should have the strong collaborators, supporters. Then you can mention those facilities in your proposal, and you can definitely go ahead with the proposal. That's not necessary to establish everything at your institution.
Collaboration, we can use the facilities in other centers also.
Yes, other centers also.
Disciplinary collaborative research is always encouraged. They will always funded. But when we collaborate, we have to see that we collaborate with a very good institution with a high reputation, scientists with a high reputation. Yeah.
Right, sir. Absolutely. So I hope we have cleared the question. Okay, anyone else? For grants, does publication matter? See, research experience definitely matters, and if you have any kind of publication, it is really appreciated. And for the new people who may have one or two publications, also are encouraged to go for proposed, to go to the proposals, research proposals and all. I mean, it is not 100% must, because if you are in the student phase, if you are in the PhD, it is not 100% necessary. But if you are looking for the proper grants with the high amount of the funds, then your research experience definitely matters.
Correct.
Okay, so we can take a few more questions if anyone, otherwise we can go for vote of thanks. Yes, someone has raised the hand.
Hello, sir. That was a really nice presentation. Thank you very much for the informative session. I would like to ask one question, sir, basically I wanted to know if the profile of PI also matters for a grant to be accepted or approved by a granting body.
Of course, it matters. It matters a lot. PI is the main person who is getting the grant and who is proposing the idea to funding agency.
So, sir, basically my purpose of asking this question is whether for whatever field you are writing the proposal, so is it necessary that the PI has publications related to that particular field?
See, it depends. Yes, yes, please, Udupa sir, please go ahead. Please,
because the expertise, whichever grant you are writing in that area, if we do not have expertise, then for training, travel purpose and all, always for young researcher, there are different schemes. But for a specific scheme of a particular topic in that area, our expertise and our strength, our qualification, our merit is very important. So based on that, the grant will be, there will be a lot of competition. So definitely those who are having a good profile in that particular area, they will be funded. Yeah, their project will be considered.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, if college is new and it's under government consideration, what will be the best way to approach for funds? There is one question, sir.
Yeah, that is for new institution. There are some specific grants. So we have then there also the new institution should collaborate with the established good quality, high quality with the people having high research caliber and the strength. They should collaborate and try to get. So they will always encourage for the new institutions to get the research grants. Government funds will be there. But we are the project should be very clear. Our idea, objective should be very clear, and we should collaborate with good funding agencies. Always we will be successful because new initiative for that there are various schemes are there. Yes, they will definitely encourage.
Absolutely, sir. Correct. Okay, some other questions, guys? Someone else? Any questions?
Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Ajit sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Good evening, Asha. Please.
Good evening. This is Dr. Asha from DPU. I would like to thank actually Dr. Udupa sir for his presence here and his words of wisdom that he has given us. And Dr. Ajit sir, it was a great session, 2 days of continuous interaction with you. And it was great insights you have given into the grant writing. So I have one question for you, sir. We have been applying for ICMR, and in these ICMR, they ask for this DSIR recognition of our institute. So actually, we do not have that.
Yeah, very good. I will answer because I have experience with this. Because in Manipal, all universities, if our laboratories are certified by Department of Science and Industrial Research in DST, there is one division known as Department of Science and Industrial Research. And there is a director, advisor, and one committee is there. So we have to, every year, we have to, they'll online application has to be filed, and they will give a reference number and all, and our all facilities will have to upload, and we have to file a hard copy application. A committee will come and visit, and we have to give our budget proposal, what type of research we are conducting, and all these things. If we show, then they will. And every year, because our whatever grant we are there, they should be properly utilized, budget and all, everything. It should be properly accredited, validated, and also there are this auditors are there. It should be properly audited, and any unused amount should be returned back. And they are very strict about this. We cannot misuse. They will blacklist if we make any mistake. That's why ICMR grant, if they are telling DSIR certificate is required, you have to apply and get that, and then give that. When you are applying, you mention that we are in the process of filing the application. Once they give the number, you give them. So this is a very important aspect. Yeah, we have to DSIR certification. We have to apply. So Delhi, we have personally can visit. Ajit Singh is nearby Delhi. He can always help all the scientists to get that DSIR certificate, and we can mentor you to apply for any grant. So ICMR also, you know, they have a lot of schemes. Young researchers, they will always help with the seed money and other projects. But you need not such a schemes if it is difficult. There are other ICMR schemes. You apply for such small fundings, 5 lakh, 10 lakh. And DSIR funding is usually for 50 lakh, 1 crore and higher.
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
So, ma'am, there are only particular, funding schemes which need DSIR, approval.
Right. Those extramural ones, I think they need it. Yes.
But it is, I am very sure that it's not tough for the reputed institutions like DPU. You just have to go for the approval. It takes 4 to 6 months to get that approval.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. 6 months to 1 year.
6 months, I think, yes, 6 months to 1 year, correct. Right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
But then you see that your institution applies for DSIR now itself, because in future, at least for next year, you are ready with your DSIR.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. As we have mentioned in our planning part, that we have to plan. The planning part takes only, the only planning part takes 8 to 10 months, 8 months to 1 year.
Right.
We should be prepared for all the upcoming grants, and if you are really, interested in the research at institutions. Yes. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So someone else?
Yes, sir. Dr. Ajit, sir. This is please. Dr. Sai Swam from Gujarat.
Hi,
sir. There is one more question. Is there any preference to the government organization and then to private organization? Is there any such a thing? Because normally when you're going for grant, they first give to the government organization only. Then only they will go for the private.
I will answer this. See, few grants are meant for only government organizations, and even they don't apply, they will approach a registrar, vice chancellor, tell that you are eligible for that, and they will give even application. They will fill and just send for signature, and then they will file on it, because NIRF ranking and all, they apply this. So they are doing it. But most of the grants, they are open for both government. Earlier, only government organizations are getting granted. Even deemed university and they are not eligible to get some of the grants. But now they are, because of various highly ranked when the NAC accredited and all the universities and institutions, they approach the funding agencies and they approach the government and various research organizations. And now there is a very high competition, and even for the reputed institutions also they are allowing all these grants. All the grants are, we are all eligible. So now we should not, but always we have to see that we maintain high standard of the research facilities and encourage our teachers with the various seed funding and incentives. Then definitely we will be successful. That's why now it is open for all the people. So they will mention such particular grants are only for government institutions or for the private institutions also. Accordingly, we should see that.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. So I will cover the another part what sir has asked. It is like how to rank the institutions, whether should go for the private institutions or funding institutions or the government funding institutions. See, private funding institutions like the industries and foundations, they have very restricted areas. Very restricted areas. As I told yesterday, companies do not fund easily. Okay, companies fund for clinical trials, for some specific facilities only. And government funding agencies like CSIR, DST, DBT, ICMR, and these things, they are open coverage. They have the wide coverage of the research grants, research proposals. So, and it is better because they have a good system and they have some commitment kind of thing. If they commit, like if ICMR commit, they if they have the funds, they grant immediately, they allot immediately. Sometimes it is late because of the government funds, but if they commit, they will give you, whether in 1 year or 2 years, but they give. In the private funding agencies, this is not there. You have to be very particular where you are applying, because there are certain fraud funding agencies also. You should be very careful about the funding agencies. If you are applying for reputed institutions, organizations like Tata Foundations, Reliance Foundations, then they give the funds on time. But usually, other foundations, there are certain foundations where you will apply, they will give you the acceptance letter just for their namesake, for their government showcase purpose, but they will not allot you the funds. So you should be very careful in those aspects.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. So Dr. Tarun, I think we can go ahead for the vote of thanks now.
Any other questions before
Yes, I think
so
we have
one more question.
Yes, Dr. Amrita.
Last one question. Sir, actually, yesterday's discussion, actually, we are, I think Bujbal sir was asking about short-term projects or short-term grants.
Yes.
If you remember, especially for clinical or PharmD, particular to that.
Yes.
So today, sir has also speak about how to go to ICMR and those checking and all. You have showed that, and it was very beautiful. Actually, we didn't explore those places. I want to ask is like, if we are doing a short-term project for our 5th years, is there any place where we can give focus? Like, not ICMR is not giving any short-term or any academic grants, but is there any other organization where we can focus?
See, I'll tell you one thing. PharmD projects for 6 months are definitely not eligible for that. But I have another way. You can propose those proposals. I mean, those 6-month projects you can make for 1 year, more than 1 year or 2 years. Like, because it is always under the PI. It is always under a professor. Okay. So the professor can make the good term. Good term means the duration, 2 years duration, make the project big. And they can involve multiple people, multiple students in them. Okay, in one protocol, in one proposal, they can involve 4 students or 5 students, and they can run that grant for 2 years or 3 years. And definitely it will help students also, because their names will be there.
So you are saying like under one project, but we are doing it as a year base.
Yeah, I mean the 6-month projects are very less accepted, or they are not encouraged at all. They are not encouraged, and these student level projects are not encouraged because we are not targeting a good population. We are not targeting any good impactful topic in that. But if you have a really good topic and you can conduct for a longer time with a longer budget, with the longer with the multiple involvements, then definitely make it big, and you can involve your PharmD students or your B Pharm students or your M Pharm students in those projects. Like those projects could be their own projects for their thesis. Like they are working for 6 months, whatever they are extracting out of the project, they can present as a thesis. Okay, then someone else can join and they can present the next thesis. So the PI will be the main person to apply for the grant, to get the grant, and they can distribute the work in the into the students, and those students will also be benefited because they will be the part of the project. They will be showing the outcomes, showing the results of those projects to the people.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yesterday's
I will like to add my views and support.
Yes, please, sir.
Dr.
Please, sir.
Ajit Singh has clearly given how to approach. See, for Form D, my suggestion is that what we have to do is we should approach industries, because various clinical research grants are there. The industries will give to the professor, investigators, and particularly doctors. So Form D for professors can be co-investigator, and always we should apply in the name of those investigators, doctors, physicians, surgeons, who are physiotherapists and nurses, who have lot of experience in clinical research in that particular area, the surgery or pain management or oncology, like that. So gastroenterology and all. Accordingly, the industries, their products will be given, multi-center trials are there. They will give that funding, and that is also in several lakhs or crores, and they require like more than 500,000 multi-center, various population, the volunteers are required. So those trials we can, the professor can apply, and the Form D students, they are trainees actually, but they can be involved, and as for the helping for the physicians and all in the ward round and all, and patients, and for the data, lot of data has to be filed. They can assist the doctors and the clinical investigators. That's how Form D projects can be attracted from the industry. And for this, this ICMR or this funding agencies, but they will give grant for setting up the clinical trial and some specific purpose for buying the refrigerator and all, but like particularly for stem cell and related clinical research and all. So, but otherwise, they will not give only for the clinical Form D projects like that. So that's why through industries we should get the funding for this purpose. So that's how we should attract grants from the industry.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. And Farm D people can work as a, or the nursing people, or the MBBS third year, fourth year people, they work as a research coordinator in those projects, and they get benefited. So if they are working for 6 months, they can get those ideas as their, they can proceed those ideas as their own thesis for 6 months or something. So that helps even in the
CRAs and CROs. CRA like Zenith Corporation, and also various industries, organizations, like Manipal, Ekinova, then Torrent and all various companies, they have got CROs. So through them, we can get the grants and help the Form D students to get some funding. Otherwise, they have to spend from their pocket. Yeah.
Yes, true. True, sir. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. I hope, Dr. Amrita, you got the answer.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you so much. Yesterday after discussion and today this thing we got, teachers got a bit confused. So I thought I'll just clear it.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Dr. Taran, I think we should go ahead if we do not have any questions.
Yes, moving on, I would like to invite Dr. Ravindra, the assistant professor from Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences Research, to give a vote of thanks, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Tarun. And it was great sessions and interactions with all the participants. Good evening, everyone. I feel privileged to conclude and give vote of thanks for this excellently conducted event, 2 days exclusive virtual workshop on research grant proposal writing, jointly by Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research, Pimpri, Pune, and CliMed Research Solution India, in association with World Youth Heart Federation India. It gives me immense pleasure to thank entire expert panelists from reputed universities and research scholars and grant aspirants for this event. Special thanks to Dr. Nabil PM, IIT Madras, lead scientist in Healthcare Technology Innovation Center, and Dr. Sohan Chitlange sir, Principal Dr. D.Y. Patil, Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research, Pimpri, Pune, for their opening remark and all their wishes, motivation, and support for the conduct of this workshop. We are also thankful to all the expert speakers. So from 2 days, the core speaker, Dr. Ajit Singh, research scientist for ICMR in Department of Medicines, Kasturba Medical College, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, for their great inputs and in-depth and insightful information about the research grants. We learned a lot from their sessions, like what are the different grant agencies, their requirements, components of the research proposals, what should we do and don'ts while writing a good research proposal, what is a cover letter, how should we write it effectively, executive summary, and many more things. So thank you very much, Dr. Ajit. We are also thankful to Dr. N. Udupa, Director, SDM University, Dharwad, Karnataka. Dr. Adepalli V, Research Director and Professor, Department of Pharmacology, Dr. D.Y. Patil, Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research, for their sharing expert views and sorting all the queries of participants. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
At
you.
the end, I would like to add, the research grants assist actually the scholars and research institutes in constructing all the research facilities, providing the funding to the research scholars through the scholarships, and for timely completion of the planned research work. So writing a research proposal and fetching it successfully is not a simple task. It takes a lot of hard work and needs the adoption of number of abilities, including effective scientific writing, choosing the correct topic, funding agency, and having the good research profile. We are sure and we confident that this unique workshop definitely experienced a lot to you for learning many things, and definitely it will benefit to you all while writing your future proposals, and in turn your successful career as a researcher. Thank you once again to all the expert panelists and participants of this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ravindra. Thank you very much. And thank you, Adepalli sir. Thank you, Udupa sir, for joining us. And thank to all the participants who has spent their 6 hours, almost 6 hours with us in 2 days. And Dr. D.Y. Patil, Institute of Pharmaceutical Science and Research, Pune, for collaborating with us again. Thank you very much and see you soon. And I'm very delighted to announce, guys, we are coming up with one more masterclass next week on clinical research and SES, the SES software. Learnings, clinical SES. We are coming up on next Sunday, and we are coming up with these 2 courses also, the long-term 3 months, 6 months courses. So please stay tuned with us, and you'll be getting the invitations and everything in your emails. So if you are interested to join, you please join our upcoming events. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Take care. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.